Okay guys, so in last part of this Kicad tutorial I developed this board and etched it. I don't know, can you see now? I coated it in a layer of conformal coating, and also I didn't know, I'm not sure, did you notice last time when I was doing this? Murphy got me this time. I soldered accidentally this wire, red wire, to ground and black wire to positive side of a circuit. So before I applied my conformal coating, I just desoldered these and swapped on red and black on both sides. Also, before applying conformal coating, I put some silicone putty on a capacitor, so it'll be sticking to the board in case of the casing falling down or something. Capacitor will not be ripped off. And that's it. So the next thing I'm going to do here, this is the bottom of the case, and my PCB fits perfectly inside. The next thing I need to do is drilling a hole on top of a casing, and also I will be soldering these clips I've ordered on Farnell together with the rest of my parts. I ordered these two clips, so these two clips will be soldered on input. And also I have these two banana connectors, 4mm banana connectors, and I will be soldering these directly to output. So this was supposed to go to multimeter, and banana clips will go and crocodile, these clips, where are they? Here. These will go onto input. So I will be soldering these directly, and I will also record it. And after that, maybe even before, I will be testing this circuit. Well, if you don't have, my plan is to test this on 220. I live in Europe, and I will be plugging these input wires into 220 lines, and this can be dangerous, deadly in fact. So if you're not sure what you're doing, ask somebody, or have somebody with you with experience to assist you. So I will be plugging this directly to 220, as I already told you, and I will be measuring output. But before that, you can do something to your with your circuit just to test it. I will try to fit everything here inside. I don't have the stand for my desk. I put my multimeter here in ohms range, ohms mode, and you can, before you continue with the test, I don't know, can you see this? I certainly hope so. So before you continue with your test, I will try to do it so everything's visible in the camera. So there's a bit of reflection over here. Let me try to do it like this. I have two wires, so I have connected one side, one wire, ground wire, to multimeter, and I will connect it the other side to other side of multimeter, other probe, and the resistance here should show close to 0 when I do this. So yeah, it's almost short circuit. And then I will put my multimeter into diode mode, and I will test the red wires on my circuit. So okay, so the current, well, I will be testing with this AC. So let me just push this aside for a moment. The current is supposed to be going from this side here through this diode over here, and through the switch, through this 300 ohm resistor on one side of a switch, here to the other side, the output, and on the other side of the switch it will be going directly to the output without passing through this resistor. So I will connect my multimeter to red in diode mode to red probes, and I will test the forward voltage. So I will connect the ground lead, the black lead, commons lead on this side of a board on this wire, and I will connect the other one here, and we should see a diode drop in here. So there should be a diode drop over through this diode. I didn't check in a data sheet, but let's suppose it's 0.7, 0.6 on this diode. And when I reverse it, so when I put my red over here, my red probe on a multimeter here on this red wire and black on this one, there should be no electricity going through. So let's try this. I'll be using different probes. So let me plug this in the multimeter. Okay. So this side, output side, I will connect to ground of a multimeter, and I will push it in the view so if you can see. And other side, I will connect the other side right over here. Yeah, so I don't know, can you see there's a voltage drop of approximately 0.6. So if I reverse this, if I put this on another side like this, so this is this one is now connected to the output. Let me just try to do it a bit better. So this one is connected to the output, and let me connect to this one. Yeah. So as you can see, I've connected the red probe. Let me try to focus everything. So I connected the red probe here and the black probe over here, and there's no current flowing. You can see the voltage drop is in 0 volts, and we can also test it. We can also test it in ohms mode. As you can see, it's over limit. I'm not sure, can you see this here? So I have these banana clips, banana connectors over here, and it'll be impossible to see on camera, but they have this small screw inside, which goes, let's try camera to focus, okay, which goes over here, and there's a sleeve that can be put on this banana clip after the soldering. It goes like this, and the wire goes over here. So so that's because you can plug another 4mm banana into one of these. So this will be used on board of boats, and it will be thrown around. So I put my wire over here, but I will also be soldering this wire directly, and it'll be very, very hard to see, but I screwed in this small screw, and I will put some solder so it will have better contact and hopefully last longer. So in order to do this, you need to have a stronger, good soldering station. I will be using my JBC soldering station, and I put it on 350 degrees and I will try to heat this big chunk of metal over here and then put some solder in. Let's hope that it will. I will keep the heat for a while and then remove to inspect it, and hopefully we get some connection. Let me try to do it. Let me try to. I will take thicker soldering wire. I will take 1.5 millimeter one and try to do it again. Sorry, the lighting is not perfect, camera position, but I'll try to do it again. So let me reheat this, and I will feed the wire while it goes inside. Yeah, I think this is okay. Let me check the bottom. Yeah, it went all the way through. I don't know, can you see this? So I will unplug helping hands. And yeah. Okay. Let's try to cut the excess of this. It's still hot. And I will keep it in helping hands and try to cut it off. Okay, and it's hot, and here also this part, but I think this will be okay. So I will put aside this part to cool down, and I will do the same with another one. I will do the same if I can find another plug. Yeah, here it is. So we need to remove the screw from inside, at least just a little bit. I'll put the wire, bend it over like this, and then screw it down. Okay, we don't need so much wire sticking out, so I will just clip it over here, put it in a helping hand, like this, and let's try to feed in some more soldering wire. I'll clean my soldering iron. Okay, I'll put the wire in and try to feed in and heat the banana clip and wires simultaneously until it all melts inside. Yeah, here is it. Okay. Nope. Let's try to put it vertically like this, and let's try again. Okay, I think it's in. I think this is in. I will let this to cool down, and then I will put sleeves around, and then will be time to test. I'll be testing my circuit now. So as you can see, I tried to fit everything in a camera. In my left hand here, I'm holding a live 220 volts European plug, and I've connected the output of my direct voltage adapter to a multimeter, and I will stick this wire in to measure direct voltage. I do not recommend anyone who doesn't know what he's doing to try this. and we should see a peak voltage over here directly here on the screen of my multimeter. My multimeter is set up for direct voltage for DC, so I'll stick this in, and you can see, well, my electricity here, my mains plug should be 240 volts, but there's a peak voltage of 220 something volts over here. When I could 226, 227, 326 or 327 volts. At this point, this circuit is very extremely dangerous. You don't want to touch this with your hands anyhow. So when I disconnect it, you can see it's slowly discharging through 1 mega ohm resistor, this 22 microohms capacitor. So this voltage still holds 200 and odd volts. So it's very dangerous. It's relatively dangerous. It can zap you strongly until the capacitor discharges. So I recommend disconnecting it and leave it aside for a while until it discharges on its own, or you can short circuit output probes, but also I do not recommend this. Well, it's not such a big capacitor, it's 22 microfarads, but well, this still can hold some energy. Okay. So it's about 30 volts right now. I will disconnect it, and I will just short circuit it and connect it again, so you can see it's showing almost 0 volts right now. And I don't know, can you see these plugs that I soldered? Let me just bring over some light. I don't know, can you see these plugs that I soldered? Well, they're okay. I'm not sure is this going to be good enough for using on boats and close to seawater. Maybe I'll change to some other type of plugs, but this is I think this will last for at least few years in a workshop. This will be a final part of the video. I've got those 4 screws screwed in, so direct voltage adapter is all put together. I tested it and it works on 220 volts, so it's okay. And I put in this switch, I marked it over here, so in this position all the current goes through 300 ohms resistor, and when you put it on the bottom it goes direct. I will test that once again. So let's plug in this side to COM, and I will connect this side directly to a red lead like this. Okay, and it's in the ohms mode. No, actually it would be faster like this. So I will put my multimeter over here, and I will poke through conformal coating over here. So this is directly connected, you can see up here, and when I switch it down, it will go to 300 ohms, almost 300 ohms. Now, well, it's in within 1%. Back here, it's direct, and over here it's 300 ohms. Okay, that's it. And the next thing I need to do is just to put it all together. So it will go over here, and I need to fit in the cables, and this side also. Okay, and switch is working, so I will screw these in. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and screw. These are self-tapping screws, so you need to put some force in it. Okay. Okay, and the last one. So this is it, and okay, this is the final video on this. I will be testing this on outboard engine ignition. Sorry on the mess on the table. I will be testing these. I will be clipping these to ignition circuit on outboard engine, and you can see I've heat shrunk these. I didn't have crimping tool for these alligator clips, so what did I do? I just soldered it with my soldering iron, and then I heat shrunk the tubes over here. And I was thinking maybe put a sticker over here saying 300 ohms and direct, but I will just write it down with a Sharpie. I think it's it'll last. Okay guys, thanks for watching this video, and if you have any comments, just put it down, or any questions, just put it down in a comment section. Thank you, and if you like the video, please click on thumbs up.